That's right, folks. You read correctly. Ultrabase. It's been a long time in the planning, and now I'm finally going to build it. I should note that most of this episode, if not all of it, except for the very beginning and the very ending, is going to be in quadruple. Why? Because building something is a kind of redundant process. However, you've probably heard of several different Minecraft megastructures, and wouldn't you like to know how they're built? This will be my first Minecraft megastructure. It'll be a large circle, 4 blocks high, at least 4 blocks above ground, and the rest of it, there'll be 3 more blocks as a basement below ground. And this is the perfect spot to build it. A wide, generic open space. I need the shovel because I'm going to be doing a lot of digging, a lot of terraforming. It's going to be one big hole in the ground. And the level I'm making in the ground now is I'm rounding off a bit of the top of this hill so that I can even things out a little more. I mean the ground's at the same level, or at least the majority of it around here is, but I need to make that majority a little wider, shall we say. Now, Ultrabase will eventually have it'll be a big circular room with 2 levels. A ground level, which is really getting more of a basement. Oh dear. And shall we say a street level? I don't know what you call it, but it'd be 2 levels. And these two levels on the top one, we've got places that are, little sub-buildings. That, for example, the Art Museum. That's going to be a part of Ultrabase now. I originally envisioned it as a separate building. You're probably wondering what the dirt's for in the wall. That's because that's the future site of a branch of Ultrabase. Yeah, I've got to build up to make the level the same. Didn't think of that. It might make the basement level become, well, ground level. Getting kind of dark. Well, in day 2. This is day 2. That's right. I've taken out all the bits where I go back to the regular base because they're kind of irrelevant. And because it was the only way that I could fit that many hours of raw footage into a window that was somewhere around. I might be building at the wrong level. Yeah, I'm building at the wrong level. I just hope I still have enough mossy cobblestone to put the rest of Ultrabase in. Yeah, there was a reason I was saving all that mossy cobblestone. It was originally going to be part of like a museum or something, but I think it was better served as part of Ultrabase. Where was I? Oh yeah, Ultrabase, 2 levels and 8, shall we say, rooms. The rooms on the top will be larger, and they won't exactly be rooms per se, they'll be other buildings. Like the bedroom, that'll be on the top level. The Art Museum, also the top level. There's another museum called, I'm going to call it the Red Museum. If any of you are X-Files fans, you'll know what I'm referring to, probably. And that'll be for all things Redstone Logic and such. If I ever do get around to finding a record, I might have been used that to go to conservatory somewhere, although that would be a 9th room. Wouldn't be in the plans. I'd have to build it You'd have to go through one of the other rooms to get there. And let's not forget a terrarium. Except this one's not going to have just wheat in it. There'll be other stuff you can grow too. Did you can farm sugarcane? Or cacti? Well, cacti, that's pretty easy to understand. It's just like planting a tree. But sugarcane? I didn't know that. I only wish you could farm mushrooms too. There's a way to do that. But anyway, those are the top level rooms. The bottom level rooms will be a lot smaller. For this, the first, into day 2. The first bottom level room will be the forge. I mean, I was getting a little tired of having a major hall of like ore and stuff, and having only one furnace to process it in. This one will have, I don't know, 3 furnaces, at least at first, more as I need them. It was a stupid idea. Okay, you got and then another one, storage. That's sort of self-explanatory. Same function as the room in the original base. That was, what was it? It was right below the bedroom. Yeah, it's the same thing. Ooh, we suddenly hit a difficult part now. Building the walkway that'll sort of overlook the basement. Yeah, big open space, big round open space with a ledge on it. Need to make that ledge wide enough to be safe, anyway. Alright, off track again. Where was I? Oh yeah, the rooms in the bottom part. We've already gone over storage and the forge. Sounds like a pretty imposing name, doesn't it? The forge. Yeah, we've gone over the forge. The other 2 are going to be an underworld gateway room. Yeah, I always figured that that shack wasn't really that I had the underworld portal in wasn't really imposing enough. You know what I mean? So I'm going to have a room for the underworld portal. And the last room will be the railway. Probably the hardest room to build. I mean, originally the railway was on top of the original base. This time it's going to be, well, I've got 2 options now, don't I? I have under the original base and possibly on the hillside. Remember, we're on a hillside. Of course, the problem with building an underground railhead is that it needs a layer of day 3 needs a layer of circuitry that'll be under it, and that layer of circuitry will be sort of like a sub-basement. Huh, interesting point. I'd have to build that as sort of like a sub-story or a basement under the basement. Except it wouldn't exactly be considered a basement, would it? It's not below ground. More, maybe it is. If it's underground, if I end up building the rail line underground, it'll be like a sub-basement. If it's above ground, it'll be a regular basement. Of course, either way, it's going to be on it'll still be on the lower level of Ultrabase. Huh. Well, we're nearing or at the end of building the walkway. Now for the really big job. That's the biggest terraforming operation I've undertaken yet, and that would be to dig the basement. I've never dug up this much ground before. Now, I'd expect to run out of dirt eventually, and hit rock and sandstone. And that's pretty much guaranteed to happen. I'm not going to have, either way, I'm not going to have the floor of the basement be dirt. If anything, think I'll dig the, when I get to the bottom, I'll dig the dirt out and replace it with cobblestone. Probably gonna have some left over after all this. Okay, digging under the walkway is kind of tricky because the walkway, you really can't tell where the walkway, where the base ends and begins if you're underground. Unless you go too far, you have to find out the hard way. So, as far as getting to the ground level from the walkway, yeah, there's obviously going to be a staircase there. But I've also thought about making that staircase a little more grandiose than the other staircases. I haven't built any staircases, actually. Open ladders. Well, ladders are functional, but they don't look that great. Unless you're looking for a sort of a submarine theme, then, well, go to town. But ladders aren't very aesthetic. So I'm going the opposite. Slabs. Now, I haven't built slabs or staircases as of yet. Both of them lay to sort of run up a hillside or blocks without having to jump. I mean, consider this: the height of a block is a meter cubed. I mean, yeah, I guess that would make us like 2 meters tall, which is somewhat 6'8". 6'8". That's 2 meters. But you would have to jump if something's 3 meters or higher. Ooh, gravel. Anyway, you'd have to jump something 3 meters or higher. So you've got the slabs, which are half a block high, and staircases themselves, they consist of like 2-3 stairs, which would probably be a foot high. The slabs would be a foot and a half, but you can still step that. You wouldn't have to jump it or climb it or anything like that. Slabs are especially good. In other words, you don't have to keep pressing the jump button if you want to go up. Slabs are especially good if you want to lengthen your staircase. Then I would want to do that, except for artistic purposes. Another thing, I haven't gotten that much sandstone. I've certainly got lots of sand though, and I'm going to need it. Because lots of sand can be turned into lots of glass. And lots of glass is something we're going to need for, well, the terrarium at least. I'm thinking of making that more like a greenhouse and less like the old terrarium, which had a glass roof and sort of like a window in it, but it wasn't all glass. Like this is going to be, or at least as much glass as I can see. I mean, that's what a real greenhouse is like. It's not a building. It's like a cottage. Alright. Oh, so much trouble makes me thirsty. Gravel, I could use gravel. Scaffolding that using dirt is that already. Ooh, there's coal here. Yeah, I never did think of what to do if I hit more. Well, the answer's obvious. Dig it. Didn't have to think about it, did I? I need the coal too if I'm gonna build furnaces. So how far am I? Well, I've decided on where I want the floor. I've gotten to the floor at least partially. Now I gotta even things out a bit. I mean, you noticed me placing cobblestone earlier. That was for Actually, there's going to be cobblestone walls too because, well, I'm inevitably I'm gonna track where the walls are, the location of where the walls are above. You know what I mean? The below walls and the above walls will be directly, will be separated from each other by the floor. Sounds pretty obvious, doesn't it? But not so when you're actually building something like this. So of all this, I think, yeah, I have been carving out the grand staircase. I mean, there's some stuff that I've left, there's some blocks that I've left undug. That's the staircase. New pick. Let's see what it's going to be like. Oh, I hit the rock. That'd be cool. Now, sandstone, I've got sandstone here. It always occurs at the bottom of below sand. It's a good building material, especially if you want to ward off spiders because they can't climb it. But it really doesn't matter which building material they use. Building materials are building materials. And entering and exiting Ultrabase, well, there are going to be a couple ways to do that. You've got the traditional way, the door, and then there's the railway, which is probably the way I'm going to use the most of. I mean, those doors are emergency exits only, so to speak. Speaking of those doors, it's always been kind of annoying to have to manually open the door. Click on it and such. I could put a pressure plate there in the original base so that if you step on it, the door opens. But what are the odds that, I don't know, a creeper could open the door and come at me? Pretty good. A little too good. So I wasn't doing that. Alright, what day are we on now? 8! Ooh, 8 days. Alright, anyway. Okay, so I'm building the walls for the basements. Let's go for 3 high. One thing I considered signs. I haven't built any of those yet because I haven't needed them, but they were pretty cool to have, signs on the rooms. Living where they are. As soon as I've started building the rooms, as soon as I finish building the main module of Ultrabase, so to speak, then I'm gonna look at the signs and good. Now signs you can actually type text in them, which is going to be kind of important because, not so much because signs can do it, but the ability to type text into something in Minecraft is probably something that would be good if it were applied on paper as well. You can make paper, but right now, the only use for paper is making books, and the only use for books is making bookshelves, and the only use for bookshelves is decoration. Speaking of bookshelves, putting a study in. Like across the hall from the bedroom. Yeah, I guess there are going to be 9 rooms. The bedroom isn't going to be, you won't be able to walk through one of those 3x3 archways and enter the bedroom. No, because that's not what bedrooms are like. Unless you're rich, I guess. But anyway, the bedroom will be down a hallway, which incidentally is Good idea if I want to put the conservatory somewhere to be at the end of the hallway, but I don't know, the bedroom's gonna have it be at the end of the hallway. And I'm thinking maybe I could put a study on the opposite side of the bedroom. You know, a place with a bunch of bookshelves in it. Why? Well, let's call it the future. I mean, future development of Minecraft. I'm thinking, I know that there are going to be maps in Minecraft. So we can put the maps in there. And I know that and it stands to reason that eventually there'll be an update where you can write stuff on paper. And you know what I have in mind? You could, sometime in the distant future, Minecraft will be able, you'll be able to store books in the bookshelf. You'd right-click the bookshelf. You'd sort of be able to fill it with books. It'll be like a storage chest for books. You'd right-click on one of the books, and you'll be able to write and read it, so on and so forth. That'd be really handy in this game. Well, at least it might anyway. I mean, for example, you could write like a diary in here. I don't know, day 27. Finally encountered a cave. Right direction to the cave. That would be something. Okay, well. Looks like we're finished, at least mostly finished. Finished enough with the basement that we can start marking off where the rooms are going to be. That's what I'm using those torches for. Of course, I'm going to need to light the place eventually, so I need the torches for that too. I mean, if it's too dark in here, and in this big space I've created here, then monsters will start to spawn. You don't want that, do you? Right. No, day 10. The day I mined that big thing of coal that's been on the floor for some time now. And it's got iron behind it too, that's good. Dirt's not really that great for anything. You've probably been wondering what I've been doing with all the dirt. I mean, I've dug up enough to fill up, but I don't have that much in my inventory right now. In fact, most of what I got in there is sand. So, what have I been doing with the dirt? Well, during one of my trips to original base, I have to call that old base. During one of my trips to the original base, I dumped it all off in one of the storage chests. I haven't even begun to fill those. Which is another interesting property of the storage room. You see, the storage room is going to be expandable. All rooms are theoretically expandable, but it's especially handy in the storage room. Ooh, look, I'm building the roof now. Yeah, the roof is going to be an interesting problem. It's kind of it's kind of a dilemma. I was thinking of making it glass, but that would be too much glass. But making it stone, well, two things wrong with that. The first, it would take too much stone. I don't have enough mossy cobblestone to make the roof. In fact, not even the part of the roof that I've decided to make out of stone will be covered by all the mossy cobblestone. I mean, who cares, because who's going to be living with the roof, but still. However, what I've decided to do is make a big, giant, square glass window inside the circle, and around it we'll put the stone. It sort of makes sense, I guess. More sensible than the other idea I had originally when I was designing this place to try and build it like a pyramid. Imagine that. You could do it in theory, but I figured it would take way too long, even for quadruple speed. It would be too involved of a process. I have to build like let me think how would I go about doing this. I'd build like a block of dirt and then put a block of glass on the side, or stone on the side, or something like that. And then it would go block of stone until I'd hit the middle of the room. But how would I know when I'm at the middle of the room? One false move and, well, you know glass isn't recoverable, right? Well, harebrained idea, decided to drop it. And we're on the glass part now. Okay. Well, one thing I've got plenty of is sand. I'm going to make the first room the forge. The first room to be built in Ultrabase would be the forge. I haven't finished I'm not done the main module yet, but still. Now the forge will have the furnaces, but it'll also have chests for coal. Of course I don't have enough coal for that yet, but eventually I'm doing so. 3 furnaces. And only one of them working right now, but I'll get all 3 going eventually. I need to. And what's out this way? The hillside. Figured this would happen. I'm gonna put the railway here, though. Should I make it subterranean? I really don't know. And here, storage. Put a chest in here when I get the chance. Ooh, a little close to the surface there. That might be a problem. Well, here we go. I've taken some coal from the original storage room, and some storage blocks from the original storage room. Eventually I have to move everything here. It's gonna get and our first sign. Well, they're not stackable. I'm gonna make signs here. You can read them, so I shouldn't have to explain them. Well, as you'll probably observe, I'm finished placing the signs, and I'm on the roof right now. But, I don't know. What did you think of these signs? You like them? I like them. I mean, you know, one thing I'm kind of curious about is, can you insert special characters into the signs? Yeah, I guess that would be a bit much. But, well, actually, I guess it depends on the font and the keyboard you're using. If you want to add like things that aren't English, I know Minecraft itself isn't at least American. I mean, the price is in euros, but it's supposed to speak I don't know, Spanish, and you want to add an N with a tilde on it, or C with the whatever that accent mark is, and hence off the bottom of the C. They have it in the facade. Alright. Gee, this is going to be one huge glass roof. Going to get into competition with the greenhouse. But still, that really doesn't matter as much as you think it does. Why? Because I got the desert right there. Like I had a whole source of building materials. All I needed was a little coal and sand, and voila. Alright, 3 branches going in one, so certainly high production turnout. Good cycle I've got going here. And grab the glass from the furnace, lay it on the roof. By the time you finish placing all of it, more glass will be ready, and you can lay that on the roof, and it'll keep going like that. Right. Have I lost track of how much of this window I've completed? I mean, eventually when we get to the end, if I can see the one side from the other, then I'll be close to done, but as it stands now, I'm like, I don't know, around halfway there, I'd say. Yeah. Well, it's kind of vertigo-inducing, looking like down on the basement from the roof. Speaking of the roof, I'm thinking maybe I ought to put some roof access in Ultrabase. You know, like a ladder on the top of a ladder on like the side of Ultrabase. Not so much the side, but I don't know. Out in the hallway, you know, the one with the bedroom in it, off it, something like that. Speaking of the bedroom, that's what I'm doing now. I'm going to need to terraform this too. Well, got plenty of dirt from that back at the original base. Alright. Alright, so this thing I'm constructing is going to be a bedroom. And it's going to have glass in it too. There's going to be a lot of glass in this building, isn't there? Well, the dirt, it's a glass substitute. You know, do the biggest glass project first. The biggest glass projects first. But anyway, we're up at the roof access stairway. I'm thinking on this hole somewhere. Or possibly not. I mean, what I could do is sort of make one of those ladders like they have on, I don't know, railroad overpasses or something. I've seen it where there's like a door in front of the staircase, but and there's like a fence around it. But it's not like the staircase starts in a room where it's completely enclosed. The door is just there to stop unauthorized personnel or what have you from climbing the staircase. Now we'll put down the scaffolding. Yeah, in case you haven't noticed, I've finished the roof. Now it's time to put the underworld room. I figured I'll make it lower down than the rest. Why? Well, because the underworld portal is it's supposed to be it's supposed to be 2 blocks wide, 3 blocks high. Now the frame around it then is 4 blocks wide and 5 blocks high. So the room has to be big enough to contain it, and also big enough so that you can see it from all the way around. I'm curious if I should throw in some decoration there just to make it more imposing. I guess I can always expand on these rooms. Well, all I need is to pick in some building materials. Another conflict here is that the underground pool, the underworld pool is too wide, 2 blocks wide, but only, well, that's me, remember, and all the doorways here are odd numbers. Because the way Ultrabase is built, it's built such that, if you want to put a door right in the middle of it, the doorway has to be an odd number of blocks wide. And the underworld portal contradicts that, so the underworld rooms are not going to be, yeah, I'm sorry, it's so dark all the time, but anyway, I had so that there's like a one block wide corridor. Oh, really? Wow, has it really been that long? Yeah, there was a skeleton outside. I could hear it when I was building it, so obviously it's nice. And it's only just become day 15, the sun hasn't come up or anything. Yeah, nothing more, of course. Anyway, the underworld portal is going to be like a 1 block wide hallway, and then there'll be like a... Wait, it just hit me, there's a hallway there. So I could put something on the other side of that hallway too. Ah, funny. Okay, give this a glass roof too. The greenhouse may be a big glass project, but the bedroom's kind of a priority. I want to be able to sleep in this place as much as possible, as soon as possible. Maybe though. Okay, now, the greenhouse. It's only going to have 3 walls of glass. Can't spare much more. It's just too much of an undertaking. What else glass? Oh, so that's what it's got. The terrarium is going to be the most difficult thing to build. Because it's complicated. 2 grain areas. One area that'll be for sugarcane, and another place that'll be for making cacti. And I'm going to throw in a storage chest, a furnace, and workbench too, as sort of like a kitchen. Okay, but the real problem is, oh, how wide should I make the, it's actually making 3 wide. Well, that way I don't have to worry as much about trampling on crops. With terraforming, there's going to be a lot more over here because I'm right by the sea, which is a good location for Ultrabase if you want to keep on water. It's a bit dark. Nothing like sugarcane, but it has to be like right next to water. It doesn't. If the block in question is kitty corner to water, which is why I shaped the corners off the sugarcane growing area. Well, after we finish building one wall, anyway. We've got a lot more glass there. Oh, I'm running out of cobblestone too, so I figured that the walkways, they can be built with different materials, can they? Sure. What am I stupid? I just misplaced the green area. Not too hard to fix though. Well, doesn't look like the walls are going to be entirely grassy there because, well, the hillside wall. But as much of the fixed area as possible, anyway. Is going to grass. Kind of pointless to put it opposite Ultrabase's wall, of course, but that's why I didn't include. Yeah, that's why I made those out of stone. The rest, right? Maybe a big wall or something. Yeah, it's kind of pointless to put dirt in place of the glass here because, well, it's the terrarium. I'm not going to be able to put any crops there because I'm getting trampled by farmers or something. So completely, it's just too much of a task to put the dirt there first and then start growing things and then put the glass in. Because the crops are not complete sunlight, so my grass too. And at least right now, we have to select more, and that means digging around the desert. That's something around with sandstone, right? You know you can make sandstone out of sand. In retrospect, I suppose I should have stored the sand the way I stored the dirt back in the original base. What they say about hindsight, but 2020 and all that. And at least have the floor done, if not this running out of plant stuff. And as far as planting cacti is concerned, you really don't need to dig a hole for that. I mean, I could, but still, cacti can go 3 high. Can grow 3 high. I don't know. Should I dig a hole for cacti? Sure. I'm using the footprints. Oh, enough with the terrarium right now. And then at least finish the bedroom. Got a bed to put here. I'm gonna keep the original base, the original bed in the original base. I mean, suppose I'm lost and I just happen to run to the original base in time, I'm gonna be able to sleep over there too. Of course, one of the problems with the original base is that I had to keep plugging that hole in the roof. No more. Well, folks, first time sleeping at somewhere other than main base. Great way to end the video. See you all next time. Look at the bed. Ah, here we go. Middle room. Well, good night, everyone. Bye.